what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you are all set, you are not having a very happy Thanksgiving. It looks like the alleged plot you had against Cardi to make her pay child support to you, to make you make her pay spousal support to you, to get a piece of the money she earned while she was with you, which people are saying is up into millions. It looks like that plan has fallen apart. Because I'll say one thing about Cardi: she will work the hell out of a legal system. It must be the Libra in her blood. You guys, what am I talking about? If you guys don't know, remember when OffSet deactivated Twitter? Remember when he was like, I would never joke about being a kid? Remember how Cardi was like, yo, this man is harassing me. He's doing this and that. It looks like Cardi was telling us all her business, probably because she felt scared, but also because she is literally dotting her I's and crossing all her T's against OffSet. You guys, let's get into it. I went into legal court to find out what was going on, and we got to talk about this. First of all, OffSet is a bum. He is a bum because here's the thing. I don't care how rich Cardi is. OffSet, I think, tortured a pregnant woman who was pregnant with his child multiple times. Now, we can argue she stayed, but it doesn't matter. It seemed like every time she was about to release an album or get up, he got her pregnant. For people being like, oh, men do trap women and get them pregnant. Do you know how we know? Remember when OffSet said that grimy stuff to Cardi? You just gonna be a single mom. Ain't nobody gonna want you. This, that, and the third. He thought he was ruining her so that she would have no choice but to be at his beck and call. We also saw this man almost drive her crazy, screaming, crashing out. You know the OffSet effect when it was with Cardi B. After all the humiliation, all the cheating, all the disrespect, all the mental abuse, and honestly, judging by the way OffSet tried to lay hands on Stefon Diggs allegedly with that girl, and he might have been trying to set him up to get murked. Read the messages the way you want. And judging by the way his temper is and he's always trying to fight, let's just thank our stars that he never laid hands on Cardi, because he got the profile. Narcissistic traits. Cardi said he dabbles in drugs. He dabbles in, he got a gambling addiction and he got a temper problem. I'm just saying. Anyway, listen. So anyway, a lot of people are like, oh my God, OffSet wants 50-50 custody. What could be wrong with that? At least a man is taking care of the kids. You got to read the fine print, right? Because OffSet wants wants full legal custody without physical custody, meaning he wants control without the responsibility. And he does strike me as the person to use the kids to make her miserable. In my opinion, OffSet asking for full legal custody, but not full physical custody, is a strategy that lets him, right, control major decisions, school, medical, travel, religion, all the important stuff, especially travel. Remember when Cardi B said she wasn't taking her kids out on tour? Could that be because OffSet wouldn't sign off on it? But it lets him avoid the day-to-day parenting workload, and it lets him retain power over Cardi by forcing her to get approval from him for major decisions. A lot of legal experts online are saying that full legal custody creates a permanent channel of influence. Cardi couldn't fully move on or make certain decisions without OffSet's sign-off. That's the type of leverage that this fool's going for. You don't want an alleged narcissist having that over you. Okay, so I was like, but why does he want the legal custody? Like, how's that helping his money and image, right? So the legal eagles is like, Tisa, first you got to look at this in two ways. One, the child support angle. Sources online, and you can read them, are saying OffSet thinks full legal custody, excuse me, could help him argue for child support, especially if the marriage is recognized in California, they have community property and high earner rules, or he can argue he's a stable decision maker, even if Cardi handles physical care. Now, when I said everybody knows that OffSet is out of his mind, the only people that thinks he's stable is his mama and his sister that basically told Cardi he's a rich man, he can cheat on you if he wants, you just need to shut up. And now she's the rich woman. They still defending that bum. Anyway, some legal people believe that he expected Cardi to be labeled the high earner, putting him in a position to receive support. Again, he not only wants that mansion that he had multiple women in while she was the one paying for everything, but he also wants a big chunk of her assets. People are saying that OffSet could get as much as 15% of her total worth that she made while they were married. I would say that OffSet made, but OffSet gambled that away. But they're also like, Tisa, you have to consider the spousal support angle. Men asking for support from high-earning wives is becoming more and more common. OffSet could be positioning himself as responsible, involved in major decisions, needing to support to maintain the marital lifestyle. All of this plays well in a spousal support argument. However, the issue is OffSet's temper, reputation, and why, more importantly, my question, so why is he suddenly on his best behavior? Now, keep in mind, Cardi publicly said OffSet has a temper, has addiction issues, has gambling problems, and he's a narc, and has allegedly harassed her and even other men she's associated with, at least Stefon Diggs, right? Now, the streets are saying that OffSet knows this history looks bad in custody court. So him immediately denying harassment and positioning positive PR isn't random, it's legal positioning. He can't afford to look unstable or threatening while asking for legal custody. Now, here's the thing. Cardi actually coming out and telling us about her fearing for her life, harassment, even him being a drug guard, that works in her favor because she can ask for a drug test. But more importantly, if she can honestly show, and I think we on the internet can co-sign, harassment, threats, his emotional instability, substance abuse, and jealous or reactive behavior, the court could deny OffSet full legal custody, force supervised decision-making, and possibly give Cardi full legal custody instead. This is why I think OffSet's going into damage control. Now, there is a custody PR. I talked to my one girl, she works in PR, and she was like, Tisa, the custody PR, this is custody PR move 101. OffSet suddenly saying he's never harassed Cardi. Now, he denied everything super quickly because he needs to maintain a safe, stable parent image. He knows any proof of harassment kills his custody hopes, and he wants to avoid restraining order territory because that could destroy his custody claim entirely, okay? It's giving that OffSet's lawyer, if he can afford one, if he's not sleeping with them, is saying you better fix this now. However, there is that girl that posted receipts that said OffSet tried to set up Stefon Diggs. OffSet said the texts are fake. If Cardi can pay that girl off and those texts can be verified, that can 100% be used in court in order to make sure that Cardi gets full legal custody, or at the very least, it lowers the amount that OffSet could get. And I said, Tisa, but it's not over. There's a PR move, second PR move he's doing that no one sees, right? He knows that harassing Cardi's alleged love interest could be framed in court as unstable, jealous, potentially threatening, and unfit for shared decision making. If Cardi's legal team argues he's controlling or territorial, this strengthens her claim for full legal custody. Now, here's the thing. People are saying that OffSet also might be trying to avoid paying Cardi, saying even without earning more, the parent with less physical custody often pays toward childcare. If he has less physical custody but full legal, he can say, hey, I'm still fully involved. I deserve 50% financial consideration, and I need support to maintain the children's lifestyle when they're with me. Again, it's diabolical that OffSet might be thinking of using Cardi to fund his lifestyle moving forward. He literally wants to be a Kevin Federline. Again, according to Cardi, he gambled it away. That mofo owes almost $3 million to the IRS. The house almost got foreclosed on. Cardi at this point is supplementing his cheating income, his cheating ways, if she wasn't already doing that, all right? Again, he's trying to protect his assets. Cardi's going to point out the gambling losses, irresponsible spending, addiction, and high-risk behavior, okay? Again, let's also not forget the internal power dynamics. They said it actually gets pretty interesting because they said Cardi's legal team is almost 100% going to focus on this. OffSet has had multiple public cheating scandals, uses social media apologies as damage control, often flips the narrative to regain control, and publicly breaks down when losing access to Cardi. Again, you guys, listen. One, this full legal custody can prevent Cardi from traveling freely. We already see that she's not taking her kids on tour. I do believe that this is some type of legal maneuvering. So then OffSet can be like, she's been gone for 5 months and barely sees the kids, okay? Because any other time, I 100% believe that Cardi would take those kids on tour. Again, if Cardi wants to move to New York City, LA full time, take the kids on tour, or do international shows, OffSet is in charge of saying what actually happens, okay? She actually needs his approval to do this, okay? More importantly, right? What y'all think is gonna happen? Again, OffSet is very clever for what he thought he was going to do, but thanks to him just being like, ugh, he is the worst. I know Cardi probably looks at him. I don't know if she's out of love yet, but when she falls out of love, she is going to be ashamed that she let that gutter rat drag her through so much. But the thing is with OffSet, he is stacking the deck to see exactly what he can get from Cardi moving forward. Anyway, you guys, listen, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.